In this book right here, I have the secret for infinite motivation, but I must beg you not to tell anyone else because this is going to be an unfair competitive advantage that we have to keep for ourselves. You ready? Motherfucker, stop looking for motivation. Motivation comes after effort. You are waiting for the feeling to arise within you before you act. It never works that way. It might work for a day or maybe 2 out of the month. So every single time you'll end up taking sporadic, reckless action, and what is there to show for it? Absolutely freaking nothing. Now, I'm making this video while I'm tired as fuck. I cannot stress enough how little I wanted to come out here and record today. I didn't get much sleep last night. I set my alarm for 3:30 a.m. because I wanted just that little bit of extra time before I go to work to be able to actually progress within myself. I wanted to go back to doing my gym training before I went to work, and I begin my job at 6 a.m. And I cannot stress enough just how disgusting, grueling my workout was. I was just dragging myself through it. I felt weak. I felt sleepy. I literally wanted to stop the workout halfway through and go out and sleep in my van before work. Now, I spent the rest of the day up until this point just battling with myself. I didn't want to produce anything. All I wanted to do was sit back and consume all day. I wanted to take it easy, but I know that the man I need to become to make my goals inevitable doesn't care about how he feels. He is not a slave to his emotions. He gets it fucking done no matter how he feels. I have a delusionally grand vision of the impact I want to have and who I must become to make that possible. And when I snap myself into that frame of mind, this guy has complete and perfect emotional control so that he can change his state, his internal thought process like this to whatever serves him best. And what serves me best in this current moment is speaking from the experience I've had today, because I didn't just go to the gym when I didn't feel like it. I didn't just go to work when I didn't feel like it, because as far as I'm concerned, that's the bare minimum. It is literally impossible for me to tolerate anything less. But now I've had to set a new bare minimum. I've had to set myself with the daily criteria of putting something out there. One lot of speaking, one lot of writing, anything I can do to move myself forward, no matter how unpolished, no matter how shitty it ends up, no matter how shitty I feel, it has to get fucking done. And let me tell you, after every single obstacle I've overcome today when I didn't feel like it, I've been given a fresh new burst of energy and motivation to keep going, to keep building the momentum. I have a daily quota of Instagram stories I need to post because I'm following the framework of a certain mentor, and he expects a bare minimum of 15 Instagram stories a day to just keep staying on top of my audience's minds. And the last thing I wanted to do when I was tired and depleted was turn on my camera and speak. And guess what? Every single story I posted, I felt a new little burst of energy come forth. Now, it didn't completely take away my fatigue and my exhaustion from a lack of sleep. And this video that I'm making right now is not going to be enough to override my biology. But guess what? Sometimes you can out mindset your biology. You can trick yourself into feeling any type of way you want, but it never comes from just sitting and thinking with the exact same internal state that you're operating at right now. Let me tell you, when I came home from work, I had a task in mind, which was to create a very specific YouTube video. I wanted to make a presentation on my computer screen, a Miro board, to be able to walk you through more of a high-level concept. I wanted to make diagrams, images to put together so that it's not just me talking sporadically without any kind of plan to go off, so that it's structured, it's concise, and it makes sense. But man, I was in such a low vibration. The self-doubt started creeping in again, like, oh, what the fuck am I even trying to say here? What is the point I'm trying to make? And I knew what the point I was trying to make was, but I just couldn't bring it into reality because I had all of these shitty negative self-talk. So I decided, what was the number one thing that I could do to get myself back into a state where the creation was just flowing from me and it didn't have all of this negative friction behind it? Well, I'll tell you what that was. I went outside to my garden, did another little training session, nothing crazy, just to get a little pump on, get the blood flowing, get the heart pumping. And I decided from that altered higher state of consciousness to come out here and do a video that was a lot more raw and fresh, because while I can sit down and deliver value in a very targeted way, getting a very specific message across, there's something about talking about your most recent experiences, what's fresh on your mind, without any kind of script. Like, I didn't even go on my whiteboard and write a basic plan of what I wanted to speak about. I just had this vague idea that, fuck man, I want to talk about the secret to motivation, and here I am. I'm yapping. And this is definitely a high impact skill development session. That's all I'm seeing this as. I'm not gonna try and delude myself that this is gonna go crazy viral or anything. All I want is for you who needs this message, for it to fucking set in that the motivation you're looking for always comes on the other side of the effort that you're avoiding. Man, I literally wasted years falling off, getting back up again, falling off, getting back up again, never making consistent progress. Going from skinny fat to slightly better in shape to a sloppy mess again. And it was all because I was way too invested in what my thoughts and feelings were saying in the current moment. When what I needed to do was create a delusionally large vision of the man I wanted to become and stop making decisions from a current lens and start acting like that guy would act before I became that guy. And here I am. This is exactly what that guy would do. The current version of me wants to go and fucking watch some YouTube videos, mentally masturbate, and just eat. I have my meals, like I eat pretty much the exact same thing every day, so I know what I'm gonna eat. There's no like, oh, I'm gonna order takeaway. That's not even a part of my identity anymore. But it's still what the current level of me wants to do. He wants to watch educational YouTube videos that don't actually help at all. It just fills up my brain with useless information and slows me down, and just mindlessly consume healthy food, but still using it as an escape mechanism, as a way to avoid doing the fucking work. Sorry, I just had to check that my storage wasn't full, because that's a problem that's been happening a lot with me lately. And at 4 p.m. today, I have a call booked with a client who I'm onboarding. That is literally the last thing I want to do. Like, based on my earlier state of energy, if I had showed up on the call as that mopey sod, if I had spent the time between the time I finished work to the call just fucking you know, watching videos, eating, man, I wouldn't be able to show up as the best version of myself to be able to actually help my brother out. But guess what? After this, I'm going to be in a much higher frequency. I'm going to be in a state where I can actually pour my energy and help a brother out. That's it. Motivation is not found before action. Stop waiting for energy. It will come after you do the thing you're avoiding.